Every time you eat, a complex biological symphony begins, one that involves your digestive system, endocrine organs, nervous system, liver, pancreas, and even trillions of microorganisms living in your gut. What appears to be a simple act, chewing and swallowing, triggers one of the most coordinated physiological processes in the human body. Let us begin at the mouth.
Welcome to SciCuriousID, where curiosity meets science.
Digestion starts mechanically as your teeth break food into smaller particles. At the same time, saliva, produced by the salivary glands, releases an enzyme called amylase. This enzyme begins breaking down carbohydrates into smaller sugar molecules. Even before the food reaches your stomach, chemical digestion has already begun. As you swallow, food travels down the esophagus through rhythmic muscular contractions known as peristalsis. Within seconds, it enters the stomach, an acidic chamber where digestion intensifies. The stomach secretes hydrochloric acid and pepsin. The acid unfolds proteins, while pepsin begins breaking them into shorter peptide chains. The environment here is highly acidic, roughly pH 1.5 to 3.5, strong enough to denature most proteins and eliminate many pathogens. But digestion is not just chemical. It is hormonal. As food stretches the stomach walls, cells release gastrin, a hormone that stimulates further acid production. Meanwhile, the vagus nerve signals the brain that food has arrived, initiating early satiety signaling pathways. After several hours of churning, the partially digested mixture, now called chyme, slowly enters the small intestine. Here, the real metabolic transformation begins. The pancreas releases digestive enzymes, proteases for proteins, lipase for fats, and additional amylase for carbohydrates. At the same time, bile from the liver, stored in the gallbladder, emulsifies fats, breaking them into microscopic droplets that enzymes can efficiently process. The small intestine is lined with millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. These dramatically increase surface area, allowing efficient absorption. Glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream. And now, a crucial hormonal shift occurs. As glucose enters the blood sugar levels rise. The pancreas detects this increase and releases insulin. Insulin acts like a molecular key, allowing cells, particularly muscle and fat cells, to absorb glucose. Some glucose is used immediately for energy via glycolysis and cellular respiration. Excess glucose is stored in the liver and muscles as glycogen, a process known as glycogenesis. Meanwhile, dietary fats are packaged into lipoprotein particles called chylomicrons and transported through the lymphatic system before entering circulation. Amino acids travel to the liver, where they are redistributed or used for protein synthesis. But the process does not stop there. Within hours of eating, your body's metabolism shifts into what is called the postprandial state, the fed state. During this phase, anabolic processes dominate. The body prioritizes storage, tissue repair, and nutrient distribution. There is also a subtle rise in body temperature, a phenomenon known as diet-induced thermogenesis. Digesting, absorbing, and metabolizing nutrients requires energy. Roughly 5 to 15% of the calories you consume are used simply to process the meal itself. Simultaneously, your gut microbiome begins its work. In the large intestine, undigested fibers are fermented by beneficial bacteria. This fermentation produces short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These molecules influence inflammation, immune regulation, and even brain signaling. Hormones such as GLP-1, peptide YY, and cholecystokinin contribute to satiety, informing the brain that sufficient nutrients have been consumed. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, decreases. Within 3 to 5 hours, insulin levels gradually fall. The body slowly transitions back toward the fasting state. If energy intake exceeded immediate needs, triglycerides are stored in adipose tissue. Every meal is therefore not merely fuel. It is a coordinated physiological event involving enzymatic chemistry, neural signaling, hormonal regulation, microbial symbiosis, and cellular metabolism. From the first bite to the final absorbed molecule, your body demonstrates extraordinary biological efficiency. The next time you eat, remember, beneath the surface, trillions of cells are working in synchrony to transform food into energy, structure, and survival. And here is a question to consider. Which part of this process fascinates you most? Digestion, hormonal signaling, metabolism, or the microbiome? And would you like us to explore it in greater depth in a future episode?
Thanks for watching SciCuriousID. Until next time.